Ha. Got to make sure the counter's going to make sure I'm recording. Anyway, hello world. Hello YouTube. Hello everybody. Hello Meanie. This video is going to be like a ghetto prepper series, as it were. Only, oh, this pointed wrong, isn't it? There we go. Only, it's very serious. And, you know, everybody's tossing in about the immigration situation down there on the border. And saying, oh, we need to, you know, bring these people in. We need to, you know, bring all this and that and the other. And that, to me, and I'll explain metaphorically what really actually should be done. Those people need to be helped in place in their country, you know, on their turf. And I'll give you a metaphor to explain it to you so you can, you know, go, oh yeah, you got a point. Barn raisings, right? New farmer comes in or whatever, sets up his thing, his farm, got him his land. All the neighbors, right, they come over and they have what's called a barn raising. Well, you know why they have that barn raising? So that that man can have his own barn. You don't have him bring all his stuff, hay, horses, cows, chickens, all the things that go on in a barn, over to somebody else's barn. He just doesn't have room because he has his horses, cows, hay, storage, tractors in his barn. And he just can't do it. He can't have two farms with the stuff in a barn, in his barn. So they, like us, have, you know, what we should do, I know that I mixed it up. What we should do is help them where on their land. Not help them with bringing them onto our land. It's as simple as that. It's not mean. It's not, you know, them sons of, you know, them horrible people. It doesn't make sense. It's illogical. Right? To bring these people here, well, we just don't have room. And our barn can't hold all the barn things that those people need to have held in a barn. They need their own barn on their own land. Now, I would say, hey, if there is so many people that, oh, my glasses, there we go, are coming to here, well, wouldn't you think that, well, why are we bringing them here? Why don't we bring this society or aspect of life, how we live it, to them? Who's going to complain? They're already coming in droves. What are you going to have their government saying, hey, cut that out? You know, it'll be like, out of the way. Y'all messed it up. Now you got your people flown here by the millions. No, you, out. And here's the Constitution. I mean, it got us this far. Whether good or bad, right or wrong, the Constitution created this country, and look what it's done. My God, everybody wants to be here. Like, I'll put a sideline. This is going to be a long video. It's going to be a really long video. I'm into the New World Order, damn right. You know, hey, yeah, really all one world, this and that, as long as it's under the Constitution. It's obviously pretty good. It created this country that everybody jealous, emulates, wants to be like. Now that we've got all these illegals or whatever, and all these people been here, trained in the American way of life, if they picked up their asses en masse, went back to their countries and saying, see this? It's the Constitution. I should have one. I have my copy, but now I started the video. This is what's going to happen now. And they're going to say, hey, you couldn't, no, we're not. Okay. Well, I got 10 million people behind me, and I don't know what you think you're going to do. You need to get up out of the chair because it's on. I got to do this because I'll explain later here in just a second. Excuse me. And you'll have people that already know the American way of life. Blam. There you go. Make that American. Why bring yourselves here to America when you could make America there? But they've kept them so stupid that they think, oh, we'll go to America and we'll have a wonderful life, instead of, you know, actually thinking that, well, why don't we just make America here? Give me some copies of the Constitution, we'll run with it. With millions and millions of people to back them up. What's the problem? Okay, let's move on. Now there's 5 minutes of that. I am disappointed. I think, because I haven't seen a video from Hybrid Nason, Haas USMC, Southern Prepper 1, the main prepper is to my top 5. And there's those that are in the same, but, you know, numbers got a numbers. They're all in my group crew, what I watch. There has been no video, no training, or any kind of information set out on the subject of vectors. When I was in the military, in boot camp, we had a week-long class on the subject of vectors. You say, what is a vector? A vector is a conveyance of some sort that will convey or transport either a disease agent, whether it's disease, not illness agent, right, or a chemical agent, to deliver it to the enemy. A vector can be mosquitoes. A vector can be artillery shell. A vector could be flies. A vector could be humans. Now you think about it. Let's put the vector subvector subject. Let's expand on that. Okay, as a human, I'm just some nasty human, right? I go out and I take a poop in the woods. Now I have vectored that bioagent, as it were, out to the woods. Now, if someone steps in it, or an animal gets with it, eats it, bears, who knows? Now, we're real world. This is ghetto prepper. And I don't play. When I'm ghetto, I'm ghetto. Then the bear gets sick, the animal gets sick. He lays down in it, licks his fur, say, ingests it, gets sick and dies. A subvector, a fly, lands on this pile of excrement, you know, and they just, you know, flies, they rub around all in it, eat it and all that stuff. Then that fly goes back to your house and lands on your carrots, potatoes, peas, and, you know, dead cow pieces of dead cow. Thus subvectoring your disease or someone else's disease that went to the bathroom in the woods, subvectored their disease, their gut flora, onto your food. Now, the thing I remember in basic training was this picture of an airplane flying over, you know, drawn with pencil, all that. It's in a manual. I'm sure we can find it out. This needs to be found, and it needs to be found now, because we're at war. I'll explain that later. And we need to be thoroughly briefed in the fact that in the subject of vectors, subvectors, secondary vectors of disease and chemicals that could do us harm. Anyway, the airplane flying, and they said, well, billions of mosquitoes could be released from an airplane, right? And my God, you know, wipe out a whole community, you know, or a region even. Another one. Now let me put this as a direct vector that really will, you know, ug you out. And I'm just capping on this so that someone else can pick up the subject, get more detailed on it, and develop a training video to put out, because we need to know. Because like I just watched a video from Patriot Nurse, and there's another one on the list that I'm really disappointed in, that you didn't address the subject of vectors, because she addressed the subject of the illegals coming over the border and spreading disease. That's a direct vector. Their subvectors is their waste, their water off of them, their bathroom habits, whatever. Insects could sub-vector their disease. You wouldn't even be near them. They could be 100 miles away, yet something can land on it, a tire could drive through it, people could step on it, and sub-vector this material, biological material, on, who knows? How far can it go? Right? Let me give you an example, and I'll sign out because this is a long video. I'm walking through the woods. We're in the shit. We're, it's done deal, and we're all doing this and that. And, collapse has occurred. Now I find some people. They got this little camp going. They're going on and pretty good going concern. Well, me and my 5-6 people, we couldn't hope to aggress them and take over or do anything with it, right? And they're not willing to help us. Well, hey, this is what could happen. Think of this. Water source, right? Flowing stream, lake, pond. All I have to do is go upstream, take a poop in the stream, swish it around a little, right? So I can really spread that. You're all picturing this, right? Remember, Ghetto Militant Prepper, Militant Ghetto Prepper. That's me. And it'll flow down, sicken the inhabitants of this village, if not even kill them, make them so sick and weaken them to where my lesser force, that's a force multiplier, could walk in and wipe them out or do whatever we wish to them. Vector, man. We need block of instructions, several each, on chemical and biological vectors. How to transport biological and chemical weapons, whatever the source, whether it be your butthole. Okay, I'm sorry. But we got to get real. This is what we've just had the first artillery rounds shot at us. This isn't just some event. This is a war shot, like a gun. That's all there is to it. You've got to figure. And I hate to say this, now I'm going to have the guys knocking on my door, but it's obvious. If you can't figure it, well, a lot of people can't, so I'll back out on that statement. We've just been aggressed. We have just had an offensive performed upon us. Them people don't care about those women, kids, and children coming across that border. They couldn't give a flying fish less. All they see is a vector, a force multiplier that can leave them blameless, perpetrated upon the American people and the people of the world. Don't think it's just us. Once it starts here, it's just going to balloon. They want the world. They don't want America. America's just in their way. They want the world. They have just shot the first shot as far as I'm concerned. And now here we are. Now, we need you guys, the list I named, to consult, get together, collaborate, put together a comprehensive video lesson on vectors. I keep trying to look at myself in the camera at the same time. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, there it is. So please, guys, this has to be done. I even wrote a text message to Hybrid Nyerson. This dude's on top of it. His game, he's got it going on. He's top of the line, along with all the others I listed and named. They're top of the line. I'm not saying that they're, gumballs or goomball, right? But this needs to occur. This needs to happen. It needs to happen now. We're in the mix, and the spoon's stirring us up. So, think about it. There it is. Militant Ghetto Prepper Series. #1. All right. Live by your wits, not by your words. Peace. Bye. La la la.